Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Tonight we're going to be going over Carl Benjamin, Kyrgyzstan, and Tim Fortuyn. So, from the India 100, UKIP candidate who repeatedly joked about raping Labour MP gets milkshaked while campaigning. Just going over this headline, and the article does continue that to say we're not quite sure how or why milkshakes have become the perfect way to protest against right-wing politicians and activists, but it is now a thing. Obviously, Carl Benjamin is not right-wing, he does not call himself right-wing, he calls himself a classical liberal, doesn't really like the left-right two-dimensional line. Me neither, but this headline is so misleading, I thought I'd make up my own, comparing UKIP candidate who repeatedly jokes about raping Labour MP gets milkshaked while campaigning, to maybe talking about how a MEP candidate receiving immense pressure on his hardline stance not to rape Labour MP who threatened to knife Jeremy Corbyn in the front. How about that? That's just as true, if not more true. And because of this, he gets assaulted while campaigning. With food. So, to the Independent, Carl Benjamin milkshaked on a UKIP candidate who made rape remarks about Labour MP. Not at all. He said he wouldn't rape her, and then he received a lot of pressure about it being bad that he wouldn't rape someone. 3 milkshakes in 3 days hit UKIP's tour of Devon and Cornwall. Far-right agitator and UKIP European election candidate Carl Benjamin. He's not far-right at all. He disavows all such stances. What is far-right about wanting a progressive tax rate, about wanting a social safety net, about wanting the NHS as social health service? These are all left-wing ideologies. So what's far-right? Is it not wanting oppressive censorship? That's what makes him far-right. Or that's what makes him mildly right of centre and therefore is far-right? Talk about dog whistling. That's another thing with the whole dog whistling thing, that supposedly, oh yes, if you talk about Western civilization, what you mean is white people. So well no, stop giving these these phrases away. And I'm going to make a video about dog whistling examples. And they also try and say, oh yes, well, dog whistling is established by a Republican, so haha, you must agree with me, mustn't you? It's like, well, no, because I'm not tribal. I look at individual ideas on their own merit, and if somebody's got good ideas, then I'll be more likely to listen to what they have to say next, as in prioritise what they have to say, because they've established themselves, but that doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything they say. So, maybe if I align with some Republicans, it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything every Republican says, because I'm not tribal. I'm not going to go with, oh, what does my group think before I go do something? No, I know that's a very communal and communist way of doing things, but that's not the individual. So you're just projecting a great deal when you say things like that. So the latest incident saw Mr. Benjamin doused in a sweet drink by protesters in the market town of Totnes in Devon. He had been due to make an address alongside far-right figure Milo Yiannopoulos, again somebody who the alt-right hates considering he's gay, openly gay, and has a fetish for black men. He joked about it being heaven to have completely Nigerian bodyguards, for example. Police said one person was arrested for throwing the milkshake. Good. You mean to say the police actually did their job and arrested somebody for assault? Fantastic. They throw Tommy Robinson in here as well, for the lols, where nobody's been arrested. And Sargon said that he might press charges. He's considering it against this person, and I really hope that he does, for reasons that we'll get onto with Tim Fortuyn. So he reportedly told the Plymouth crowd that people should be able to make jokes about rape. Yeah, make jokes about whatever you want. That's fair enough. I'm all for it. What difference does it make anyway? Local activists and community members will gather at an alternative venue in town to show solidarity with the victims of hate speech, including women parliamentarians Jo Cox and Jess Phillips. Oh, you want to talk about someone being painted bad and therefore somebody attacking them? Well, yeah, Jo Cox or Sargon. It's the same premise. Don't know what Jess Phillips has to do with this. What, she just doesn't like somebody not raping her? Wow. I wouldn't rape you either, Jess. And that's not a joke. I really wouldn't. We deplore Benjamin's use of rape threats. There were no rape threats. What libel is this? Currently under investigation by the police. Both men's regular use of racist tropes. Racist tropes, so what? Milo... what? Saying... well, like, black people are well endowed, or black men are well endowed? Is that what we're getting at? Or what, that it's common for cousin marriages in Pakistan, which has a detrimental effect on IQ. The active wooing of white supremacists, well, not at all. Like Richard Spencer, not a fan, and in fact, you even bring up Carl Benjamin's mentioning of the alt-right to call them white niggers, to use a word that they don't like. So that clearly goes against your narrative. Wooing of white supremacists and conspiracy theorists. Well, yeah, I don't see a problem with conspiracy theorists. You're not making anybody do anything. And their designation of feminism as a cancer. Well, yeah, what is a cancer? It's an unfully formed creation that then spreads far and wide, causing havoc and destroying things that it touches. So, yeah, that's accurate. Group added, we know that Yiannopoulos was recently banned from Australia. Terrifying. Banned from a whole continent for blaming the Christchurch mosque massacre on the establishment pandering to barbaric alien cultures. Okay, so it's not alien, it's global, great. We affirm that Tottenham is a place of peace, progress and tolerance, clearly not tolerant then, where these ideas have no place. The irony. Okay, cool. So, they say milkshakes have gained currency among those protesting far-right campaigns after EDL founder and far-right campaigner Tom Robinson, who, again, disavows that label, so it doesn't really matter anymore what these people do, does it? You just use far-right to mean bad man, don't you? Instead of actually addressing what they have to say. Because what they have to say is very reasonable, which is why you can't let these people speak, because they might just persuade people. Have you noticed how right-leaning individuals are far more likely to be open for dialogue and debate and let people hear their ideas, try to persuade them, and also try to be persuaded, because they care for truth and fact, and that the best ideas will be appealing, and they go with logic instead of rhetoric. They go with minds instead of hearts, whereas the left doesn't think that their ideas can stand on their own merits, even though they care most about how people feel. Great. Oh, and we will mention that his van, the tyres were slashed, if it mentions it in this article or not. I'm not sure, but it does say, ahead of Mr. Benjamin's arrival in Totnes on Sunday, a spokesperson for Totnes Together Against Hate Group said, using the pretext of European elections, these attention seekers and darlings of the alt-right. Again, they are hated by alt-right spokespeople everywhere. You just presume that if you don't like two people, then they must like each other. No. You might say the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but it doesn't have to be that two people I don't like are friends with each other. Stop making yourself the centre of the universe. It's not all about you. So, after he was stopped in Totnes on Sunday, Mr. Benjamin was then delayed from his next appearance in Exeter on Monday after the van he was to travel in had its tyres slashed. And that's where we're going next. From Devon Live. Chaos at Exeter, Wetherspoon as brawl breaks out of controversial flag. Controversial flag is Kekistan. Praise Kek. I'm an ethnic Kekistani. An obscure flag favoured by internet trolls, well, it's basically just people fed up with how you're running things, sparked a chaotic brawl involving UKIP supporters at a Wetherspoon pub in Exeter. Right. Good. It's George's Meeting House, in case you want to go there. Enjoy it. But we are going to go down. If it loads, it's not going to load. The Kickstart flag. Ah. But this was before Carl and Milo turned up because of their tyre slashing. So we got someone there speaking. So we had a Devon flag, a British flag, and a Kickstart flag. Left-wing types grabbed and stole the Kickstart flag, calling it a Nazi flag. I chased them downstairs and confronted them both, and they were getting pretty aggressive. The flag is there to be a parody of identity politics, but he kept calling it a Nazi flag and started getting close to me, so I put my hand out. And they say, what is Kyrgyzstan? It's a fictional country. How dare you, I'm an ethnic Kyrgyzstani. Which originated on 4chan, good, to create a micronation, pushing the boundaries on taste and taboos. And saying that Sargon and Ricard began to publicise it and push it forwards. It is not only become widely associated with internet trolls, but the alt-right, oh wow, which means it's evil, doesn't it? I bet Hitler drank water too. A modern form of primarily web-based far-right politics in the United States and Europe. Well, considering it's against identity politics, you're disproving your own point. The flag itself appears to be a replica of the Nazi flag from the 1930s. No, it isn't. It is from the Kaiserreich, or the Second Reich, depending on how you view it, from 1867, replacing red with green, and the swastika with a symbol made out of the letters K. Well, the letters K-E-K, because it's Kek, as in the Korean for lol, because of World of Warcraft, that they translate everything so it comes out as lol. It comes out as Kek when you put lol in, and Kek is of course the Egyptian god of chaos. It's a great meme theory, check it out by Emperor Lemon. I'll link it down below as well, but just to prove my point, here you go. So, 1867 to 1871, the war flag, or the Kriegsflag. It's not going to load, is it? There you go. Which is exactly the same as they're getting pissed off about for the Kekistan flag, and this is from 1867. Okay, and then it's the Kaiserreich as well. So we got 18. Pick one. So we got 1871 to 1921, essentially, the Reich war flag. And if you look at Reich, then they say that the main Reich meaning realm, you've got the German Empire, Deutsches Reich or Deutsches Kaiserreich, which lasts from the unification of Germany in 1871 until it collapsed after World War I during the German Revolution, 1918 to 1919. Cool. And then Nazi Germany decided to take that flag. So we're going back to the source. We're actually looking at things in depth instead of just what suits our narrative on the surface level, right? But maybe you wouldn't know anything about that. Devon Live. And the reasoning why we shouldn't permit assault on people at all is Tim Fortuyn. Here we go. This guy. And you might see some stunning similarities here. He called Islam a backward culture, and he would close the borders for Muslim immigrants. Also supported tougher measures against crime and opposed state bureaucracy, wanting to reduce Dutch financial contribution to the European Union. He was labelled a far-right populist by his opponents and in the media. Funny that, but he fiercely rejected this label. I wonder why. Maybe he wasn't far-right and was just trying to get his ideas across. He was openly homosexual and was a supporter of gay rights. Yeah, he admired former Dutch Prime Minister Joop den Uyl, a social democrat, and Democratic US President John F. Kennedy. But if we go down to why I mention him, considering he was assassinated, on 14th of March 2002, Fortuyn was pied by a left-wing activist from the Biotic Baking Brigade in The Hague. Animal rights activist, I believe. And then, less than 2 months later, on the 6th of May 2002, at age 54, Fortuyn was assassinated by a gunshot in Hilversum, North Holland. Great misfortune. If only they did miss him. Now we miss him. But that's the point, that you shouldn't allow food articles to be thrown at people because it can very easily lead in death. Here we have a striking similarity. So stop permitting violence against people, even against people you don't like, especially against people you don't like. And stop demonizing them because you are encouraging them and getting killed. If you want to talk about radicalizing people, then you, left-wing media, Independent, Indie 100, Devon Live, BBC, Guardian, you name it, you're encouraging this sort of behaviour that leads to people getting shot. Stop it, or there will be blood on your hands. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this, even if it did get a bit somber at the end. Solemn. Have a good evening. Sleep well, and fuck right.